Hey, so what happens if Israel decides it is anti-Semitic to be for black liberation? Would I have to burn all of my poetry books? Make sure that the wretched of the earth is never found on my person? Um, that I have a dream speech T-shirt that I'm always wearing. Would I have to turn it inside out and make sure that if I have any red, black, and green beads, that I would put it in my T-shirt, tuck it in my T-shirt or my belt buckle or something, and do the whistle with my hands in my pocket every time the police come by, asking who it was that was talking about a satire to these unsuspecting, vulnerable children, university students. It's a serious question because that is the next logical move in the marriage between American neo-Nazism and Zionism. That movement that has pried away the concept of anti-Semitism out of the hands of the Jewish survivors of the concentration camps and handed it over to the soldier guards. Zionism could return any U.S. favors by getting rid of the pesky idea of black freedom so that it becomes in the interest of humanitarianism and humanitarian zones to, when you're in Tulsa, to pull over every car that forgot to scratch out its Black Lives Matter bumper sticker. The pushback that the Trump admin received when it took down Harriet Tubman monuments and Tuskegee Airmen names from bases, etc., because of DEI. They can just reframe it and say, well, that's actually because it's due to anti-Semitism, and that they were anti-Semitic. In fact, that could be done to any liberation movement, however poorly represented it is. If it's Mandela, if it's Nehru, if it's Gandhi, the Bandung Conference, everything could be anti-Semitic. And any resistance at all could be said to have a kernel of anti-Semitism in its formation. And then the only political expression deemed permissible would be the ones that wave the Confederate flags in the middle of the White House and Sig Heil on Inauguration Day. It might be a blessing, though, when they remove Harriet Tubman's image, because the only time they put our liberators up on poles is when they're burning in effigy.